Okay, we made it more beautiful here. Look at this. We made some more custom trees here. I'm really getting into the custom tree spirit. Take a look at these little beautiful acacia style azalea trees. We made quite a few of them, and I did some bone mealing. It just looks so beautiful in this area. It has completely transformed around the house. It's not blank anymore. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Impala100 here. And yeah, again, if you guys didn't check out the last episode, you probably don't recognize this area here or me, because we decorated our armor and then decorated so many spaces here that were once blank. And not to mention, we have taken out the majority of torches. There's still a few here, but we've taken out the majority of them and instead replaced it with torches, I guess, underneath moss carpets. So we missed a few areas here, but take a look up here. All lanterns. All lanterns because we're getting rich. And we did some mining. We did some mining in the mines beneath, you know, us here. And yeah, that resulted in us getting quite a bit of iron, and we reallocated that iron immediately to making lanterns. So one thing I noticed though, we're starting to get very low on a certain resource here. Not iron, we're doing very good on that. Not copper, not diamonds, not emeralds, coal. Out of all things, coal is what we're low on, and that happens when you start, you know, advancing through the game and you don't mine at a higher level so much, and you start lighting up a ton of stuff out here, right? Especially when you spend coal on, you know, stacks and stacks of lanterns, right? So, another way in which we're using coal is with fuel. Whenever we're, you know, smelting iron or glass up here, right, we're typically using coal, and we've started to go more towards a dried kelp block fuel source to, you know, reserve coal, right? Another thing we could do in the future with coal is make charcoal, which is completely renewable, and that's something we could do later. But today I want to have some fun with redstone. I want to completely just go in blind and hopefully portray how you could come up with certain redstone components without following a tutorial like what we did over here with this moss farm. I want to build something special, probably something that's not completely efficient. Oh, wow. Plenty of bones here. Look at that. That is so beautiful. Again, that's why we follow tutorials for some farms, because some are awesome like this one. But I want to have some fun here. We have some blank space here, and I figured it might be a good spot to place a new redstone contraption, and that is to automate kelp blocks from start to finish. We have the kelp docks here. It's beautiful. It looks great. But is this an efficient, you know, way to consistently gather kelp, or can we do something similar here like to the moss farm where we always have a fuel source producing for us? So I figured we might as well do that. And this is going to go down in multiple phases here. So I'm going to help visualize this with you all. And so in true Impala fashion here, we're going to go ahead and make some signs. So here we go. Here's some signs. First and foremost, in order to make dried kelp blocks, you need kelp, right? So we need to automate this with observers and pistons. So what I mean by that is that kelp is going to grow up to a certain height. Eventually, an observer will catch that, right? And then it'll send a pulse down to pistons to where, you know, all the kelp gets, you know, gathered. So we're going to have to work on getting kelp, but then after that, it needs to be smelted. So we'll have to have a hopper chain to a smelter, and then smelter to an auto crafter. So we need to basically, and we're going to use the crafter block for the first time. I'm so excited. I haven't actually touched it at all since it was like, you know, a brand new thing, and I was derping around in a snapshot. I almost said Snapchat. Yeah, shout out millennials and Gen Z. Snapchat's cool. So hopper chain to a smelter, smelter. Oh, sorry. Hopper chain to a smelter, break, smelter to an auto crafter. Yes. And then on top of that, we need fuel for the smelter. So we could try to create a surplus of, whatchamacallit, kelp blocks going back into it. However, that's going to be a little inefficient because those kelp blocks burn up 20 things at a time. And I'm thinking another way in which we could do this is create a bamboo farm with observers and pistons again. Same thing that we do with kelp, but then hopper chain that to smelter. Because the bamboo will only burn like one block at a time or something, and it grows up quite quick. So I think if we have a sizable bamboo chamber for fuel, get some reserves going, it'll be awesome. And in the end, I'm hoping we could at least, you know, create at least one dried kelp block. That'll be a successful mission here. And I don't know why I placed it here in this area, because we're definitely not going to have enough room. I have a feeling this is a thunderstorm. It's not. Okay, dang it. Really didn't like that it was raining here. But I'm going to go ahead and do a few things here. I want to create a bunch of observers and pistons. We're going to need a lot of those. And then also maybe a few other redstone components that I know will be necessary here to make it an auto crafter. So I'm going to go ahead do some resource gathering. I just wanted to introduce the concept here. It's going to be lots of fun. And hopefully when we get back, we will start working on one of these things. All right, we are back. That was probably 20 minutes. And yeah, we have 64 observers, pistons, and hoppers. We also have a smoker. We made some copper bulbs. You make these with blaze rods, copper blocks, and redstone dust. So we made 4 of them. I think we only need 1, but yeah, we have 4 in our inventory there. One thing I want to share with you is that we can make a crafter using this recipe. It's my first time ever making one. So just thought that was cool. It's a dropper with some iron and some redstone. Cool stuff. And we have an extra piece of cobblestone, so we'll place this back. We're not done here though. Do we have kelp? Is probably going to be near the kelp docks, right? Where we actually have some, whatchamacallit, over in the windmill there. One more thing I wanted to do with you guys. I'm blanking on it right now. Oh yeah, we need to get some bone meal, because we need to farm up some more bamboo. That's the first thing we want to farm. Oh my gosh, it's a Blair Witch bee. Okay, you're not frozen anymore. You were pranking us in the name of Halloween, huh? Spooky times here on the world. We'll go ahead and make, yeah, this much bone meal because we can harvest bamboo doing this. There we go, beautiful. How many blocks does that go up? I'm curious. Beautiful. What is that? 12 blocks total up? Not bad at all. We'll do one more go of it right here. And I think we're going to want to grow up 32 bamboo and 32 kelp. It's going to be a 50-50 split for the, what is it? The fuel input on top of the, whatchamacallit? On top of the, what is being burned up input. So yeah, you gotta love technicalities with me here. But anyways, okay, we have that bamboo, and I think that's what I want to work on first, is creating the fuel input here. So to make one of these farms, we're gonna need more than what I have here actually. Yeah, this is a great start, but we're gonna need lots of redstone wiring. But we could go ahead and make the frame together and then wire after the fact here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this land here, and if we end up needing to terraform and clear some more land here, that's not an issue. Again, this is kind of untouched stuff. The only thing we really need to keep in mind is the fact that there's some fields behind here. Okay, beautiful. And I'm thinking maybe we can have fuel input back here. Again, this is where design's going to be funky, but this is going to be a funky build, and hopefully y'all enjoy that. So if we're going to plant 32 of you here, it means we need to have 16 in length for our fuel, what is it? Our fuel area where we're going to be gathering them. So maybe we could have like a 16 block length right here to do that. So I think this is far enough back, right? I think that should be fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right here. And again, we're going to be doing some terraforming. No big deal. And then on the other side here, it's going to be just like such. right? So this is where our bamboo is going to be growing up here in this little allotted space. On the sides here, we're going to have pistons. And we'll go ahead and place this red concrete down here. This block type might be changing. Yeah, this is definitely going to be changing. I don't want to, this is going to get super expensive here. But on top of here is where we're going to have pistons. And we'll place them going down all the way on both sides. And pistons are directional, so I'm trying to hit that back edge of the block here so that we don't have any issues. And yeah, there we go. And we can place that last one there. Perfect. So this is where we're going to be growing up our fuel. I'm definitely changing the red concrete here, but I do want to use the red concrete for where I will have like redstone wiring on. I think that would be kind of cool to do because we're pros here and we have a ton of extra red concrete from when we made a sniffer egg. So figured might as well get fancy with it. And I want to test something out here. Does a button work? Okay, perfect. So a button works here. So if there's a signal on top of this block here, it should push through, I believe. And this is where we really need redstone, and I gotta go get some redstone. It's crazy. If you don't have redstone, you can't build a redstone build, right? Impala logic at its finest. Okay, we're testing this out again. So if we place, what is it? Some redstone wiring here, and we place this, what is it? 2 blocks more this way. You push the button. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to be taking redstone wiring going down both edges here. Okie doke. Beautiful. Now we need to sleep because it's getting dark out. But after that, we need to find a way for this redstone wiring to communicate with an observer up top. Because essentially what's about to happen here, we're going to have bamboo. And it could grow up. It looks like it could go up to 13 high. However, I don't need it to go up that high because it's just going to keep regrowing over time. So I'm trying to think of a good frequency for this to grow at. So I'm thinking maybe just 6 tall. Because let's think about this for a second. So 6 times 16 here. What is 6 times 16? That is 96 there. So if you take 90... Basically, the yield will be 96 per side here or 192 for the whole thing, essentially. But again, we also need to keep in mind not everything is going to be at that height. But I think 6 is overall a good height for at least the fuel chamber here because it's going to be growing at such a consistent rate. And if that needs to increase, then we'll just increase the height at which the observer detects the bamboo growing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find a place for this observer. So we'll do it on these blocks here. So this is 3 up, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. So this is the block where we need to place an observer. And I believe... for us to place an observer, we want to actually look into the inside here, if I'm not mistaken. So we want this to detect. Yeah. So if we detect, if we detect here, it should make a pulse go out. Oh, there we go. That's just me falling, being a dunce here. I promise this is completely on brand for any new viewers. But yes, we could signify this here. So we place this. See? Okay. So that's how you know the observer's going in the correct direction here. So we're going to do this on both edges here. So we will have an observer on this side as well. And then after that, there's a few ways in which you could transport redstone vertically. And the lazy way without having to pull up hoppers, vertical redstone ladders, essentially using redstone torches and stuff. Another way you could do it is just a line of observers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this observer here, I want it to detect, right here and go down this way like so. Because now, when it does this, it should go all the way, right? So if I place this here. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Did it wrong again. Okay, yeah, we were supposed to... Oh, nope. No, that's not the... I'm placing it this direction. Boom. There we go. Oh, lordy. Redstone with Impala 100. Here we... Yeah, we're throwing our shovel and everything here. Oh, lordy. We're just having a great time, aren't we? Anyways, bamboo goes up, sends out a redstone pulse, and now I just realized that this pulse is only going to go so long. And I believe that's 16 blocks, right? Or 12 blocks. Hold up. So let's mark this again. Which one does it end on? Hold up. It doesn't go all the way. Okay, so this is going to go a total of 15 blocks here, which I'm cool with sacrificing one. So let's go ahead and do this. But essentially, yeah, this is how the redstone is going to communicate here. And after this, we need to create an item collection system, which we've already done technically. Oopsie. Wrong orientation again. But we've already done that item collection system using minecarts over at the sniffer farm, right? Or at the sniffer nest, so to speak. So that's the next step here. So now we have a fully functioning farm technically here, as far as the redstone goes up top. Now we just need a collection system, have a place for it to be emptied, an item unloader. And then after that, we'll have to build a furnace array. So I'm going to go ahead and do that stuff and explain the item unloader, because that will involve me doing a quick Google search, because I forget exactly how it goes. So give me a few seconds here, but at least we have this redstone component done for the fuel intake. All right, redstone is scary. I've been problem solving the past 30 minutes here. And this is a custom item elevator thing that I'm doing. So again, here is our item unloader, and then we need to find a way to get this up, right? And so I decided to hook this up with the item unloader, where we go off of this redstone torch, we place a signal into a little hopper clock here with an item in here that goes back and forth. So if I take this off, it would be ticking all the time. And I didn't want that, so it could freeze here. Now this is going to sacrifice a little bit of efficiency, and I'll show you in just a second. But I want to do a little test run here with y'all to show you how it works. There we go. We will place our minecarts with hoppers, and they should be going back and forth. That is test number 1. Perfect. Now test number 2 here, we're going to take our bamboo and we're going to plant it all the way down here. Boom. And then test 3 is we're going to bone meal that. Perfect. Okay, wait. Now we need the hopper minecarts to pick this up. So let's see this. Oh, they're going up. Oh, how beautiful. Okay. So it's working. It's working to an extent. Now the issue is the efficiency. As you can see, whenever there's a lot being harvested at once, it will pile up in this dispenser here. So we might need to find a way, maybe with a piston or something. What happens when I do this? That's just still on. Oopsie. There we go. We'll take that. I don't know what to do here. Maybe instead of linking this up, maybe there's a piston that we could turn on and off here. I don't know. But that's the flaw of it. But it still should be working, but there is definitely loss, and it will get overwhelmed at times here. So if people have suggestions, let me know. But until then, we have the fuel component figured out on this what is it, this beautiful redstone monstrosity and headache here. Again, this is why I don't do it a whole lot, but hopefully you guys are following along in your worlds, or following along in this episode, and either breaking your monitor out of sheer frustration, or you guys are learning with me here. So either way, it's a good time. But this is going to go into water streams, bubble columns, that will take the bamboo up into a furnace array, which I want to build next. And it's really not a furnace array per se, no pun intended. It's going to go into a smoker here. So this smoker, we can place it for now. Let's go one block up right here. Or actually, we'll probably need some more space. So let's say the smoker goes, I don't know. Let's say water column goes up and over right here. Okay. So smoker is going to create, or at least this is the fuel input here. So bubble column is going to go up into here. So bubble column up. Oh lordy. I think we need to go one further in right here, because bubble column will go up all the way here, right? So it'll go up. And then once it reaches this level here, it'll flow right in. Oh lordy, hold up. We need to make this make sense. Hold up. We actually need to map out a little pipeline here. So when this goes up, we can't go straight here, so it needs to actually curve just a little bit. So let's go ahead and close this up here. So there's going to be a wall right here. There's going to be a wall right here, but then we're going to have bubble columns that go up like such. And I think right here is a safe place to wrap it around. So bubble column up. And then maybe it goes one higher, actually. Maybe it veers off going down one lower. Right here. It doesn't need to be perfect. And takes it around to here, where then we get placed into this smoker. We have a hopper right here. Oh boy, brain's hurting here. Oh! And it doesn't help, we're just making an absolute mess. Okay, I have this down finally, I think. Bubble columns are two different sizes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect, so that's 8, and the water stream will stop if we place it right up here. This one, bubble column will go up one higher, and then there will be a sign right here. So now all we have to do is make water elevators doing that, and we're going to use permanent blocks too. So I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out blocks to use. I think actually glass might be the way to go, and I have plenty of glass right down here. So we're going to glass up the area just so we can get some visibility, and hopefully this is looking a lot better here, but wanted to share you the confusion I'm working in, the utter chaos that is redstone. Okie dokie, so it's kind of working. We built a box around it and put some glass up top, and yeah, I'm hoping this continues to do its thing and starts building up a reserve of bamboo. That is the ultimate goal here, and I'm just now realizing it's not going to hold a ton here. Over time, it's actually going to lose its value, or I guess it's going to lose bamboo. So maybe at some point we could build an excess thing. If this is overflowing here or something, then it could branch off. I don't know. But just a thought here. And by the way, this is going to be an ugly mess when we finish this episode. It's still going to be an ugly mess. This is something where we're going to have to come back and build over it. So that's why we're sticking with the spruce planks, because at some point they're not even going to be visible. And we're making more spruce planks now. Why are we making more spruce planks? You might be asking yourself. Well, that's because we're going to be building a tank for the kelp now to grow on. And essentially what's going to happen is this. Kelp rises in nature. So whenever we grow up kelp here, at least in source blocks, right? I smash all of that, right? At first they sink, but then they start to rise over time. That's what happens. So kelp always rises to the top unless it gets caught on something, which is something we'll try to avoid here. But in a tank without a weird boardwalk, right, or a weird dock, it's not going to happen. So we want to do the same thing we did here with the observers, with the pistons, except we're going to have kelp rising to the top. And I'm thinking we keep it at the same height here. but I'm definitely going to have to do some terraforming. So let's go ahead and do this right here. Oh, we're going to get some stone, it looks like. No big deal. Again, all stuff we're going to beautify later. You guys have seen me do enough beautification here. It's time to destroy the habitat once again. Ooh, copper. Very nice. Beautiful. What a messy inventory. This is wonderful. So what we're going to do here now is maybe we could mock this up just a bit. Yeah, maybe the same dimensions here, just over a few blocks. Okay, so we have the pistons placed down. Now it's time to place our redstone dust blocks here. And then we need redstone dust, which we conveniently left in a chest on this side. And all the way across too. Awesome, now it's time for us to go up quite a bit. And we'll actually, yeah, we're just gonna kind of do a little ring around the rosy here. Now up here is where things are going to be a little bit different because of the mechanics of kelp. So what exactly we're going to do is when we get to this top layer here, since this is 15 blocks long, in the middle of that is going to be 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go ahead and place this right here. Now the reason being we're doing this is that we want a source block going both directions, like such, at the top. So at this top area, it could funnel into 2 different collection zones for the kelp. Or we could do another method, which is kind of it going down a water stream. But I'm going to do the split method here and see how that works. So yeah, it's going to be something to say the least, but it's, again, non-conventional redstone. That's probably going to be the title of this episode because it is very factual. This is so unconventional, non-conventional, anything but conventional is this redstone here. And let's hope we could just make unlimited water here. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, okay. This is going to take plenty of trips here, but essentially we have this all the way up. We have our observers placed to communicate with the hoppers down below, and now we need to fill this tank up here. So give me a second. It's going to be a lot of back and forth, and quite frankly, I don't think I have the what is it, the space on my computer to record all this. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, I found a flaw, and it was a flaw in my design concept here. It's not a deal breaker, and I actually have an idea. So the issue that was going to happen is at this top layer here, if we went both ways and there was running water, kelp will turn that into a water block source at some point. Which means, by the way, let's check this out down here. I just saw this go off. We already have 64 band. Oh my gosh, it's working. We're building something that works. Okay. Enough of us showing off about how big of a genius we are. Right here, the issue is going to be, yeah, the water blocks will convert into source blocks, and then the mechanics would not work for us anymore, and kelp would just be floating up to the top here with nothing. However, I have a solution. Because what we're going to do is we're going to add one more layer up top here. And blah. One more thing we might have to do is take an observer chain up and around here. No, you know what? We could work with this. We're good. We're good. So what's going to happen here is that water is going to flow down this way. So the kelp's going to go down, signs here, then kelp's going to flow down every 7 or 8 blocks here, which I'm actually going to replace this with glass because I think it would be nice to have a look in here. So it converts into a tube right here, but actually on this side here, we don't need it to be glass. I think it might be a waste. So on the sides, it's going to be spruce. Okay, let's test out the water stream now, and let's hope we don't break our redstone, but this should in theory go all the way down. Oh my gosh, perfect. All the way down here. And we're going to take out another sign here, and before I destroy all my redstone, we're going to do this just as a precaution, but I basically want to quickly go in here and place a sign. Beautiful. Place that there. So in theory, kelp should now be coming down all the way this way. We are geniuses, I know. And now up here, we're actually going to need to make a bunch of signs. So let's go ahead and just sign up here. This is a flaw. Oh no, it's going down. Oh, I didn't think about this. Okay, we're going to sleep because it's getting dark, but this is no good. I think we might need to go up by one more again. Wait, no, I already know it's not going to work. So if we go up by one though, this is going to work because this will have a consistent flow of water going all the way down. Now it's time to plant our kelp. We have 31 here. We should probably get a lot more. So I'm going to go to our windmill and just get a few stacks and just start planting this. So actually, let's be smart. Let's just get all of the bone meal. Let's get a few stacks of it because we're just churning it out up here at this point. So might as well. I'm just going to take a stack of bone blocks. I'm going to take a stack to be inventory efficient. And wow, this is ugly. Oh man, we're going to have to come up with a clever build here. This is going to be a time and a half for sure. We're going to go down here and plant all of this kelp. Okay, we're at the very end here. Ouch. Okay, let's see if this works. So kelp, where are you going? You float up. You go up. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. So you guys don't want to move. Oh, crappy. Hold up. But if I throw y'all in there, I think I just need some blocks on top. So it's not being 100% effective, but take a look at this. This should be cooking up. Oh my gosh, it's cooking up. So it's inefficient, but in theory, this should be working now. Now is the final step. We need to create an auto crafter here. How this would work is that we need this to feed into a crafter. But given all of the stuff here, we have a ton of stuff in this area. We might need to use a little hopper chain to push it this way just a smidge. Here is our smoker. It's working. And now we need to bring that down into a crafter block. Okay, so crafter goes right there, I'm pretty sure. Right? So crafter will go right there. Now I believe we need to set up a little comparator thingamabobber. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the redstone here. I'm actually referencing a tutorial from my good friend Cube Prospector. Go check him out. He has some incredible tutorials and does some other awesome stuff with survival Minecraft on his channel. But he has a little tutorial on how to craft, an input here, right? So we have a bunch of dried kelp. Basically continue this going in a circuit. So it's going to automatically make the dried kelp blocks for us. Okay, we did it. We did it, we did it, we did it. So, bone meal. Bone meal's over there. I don't know why. This is the mechanic we made. So the tutorial that I linked was like an item sorter linked with the crafter, right? But we don't need the item sorter in this application because we're only crafting one thing, which is dried kelp blocks, which is crafting now. So again, follow the tutorial, but basically we have to put a certain signal strength in this composter, which is read by this comparator, and this comparator reads how much is in here. Oh no, I'm goofing up. What am I doing? I'm goofing up. Oh, lordy. Okay, so the issue I'm having here is that I need to look at this at a certain level. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm going to break this, aren't I? Please don't have anything underneath here. Okay, thank the Lord. Okay, so I need to look this in, and I need to fill it up to a certain level. Okay. There we go. That's where I'm supposed to keep it. We'll place that right there. Okay. So that's correct. And I believe I need to maybe place a torch down here. Yep, no torch. No torch. So this should be 100% good to go now. This should just be automatically crafting every single dried kelp we could get. And for the sake of time here, we need to do this. Next big thing is figuring out what to do down here. This is way too crowded, and I think what's going to happen is it's going to have to overflow with bamboo until it gets here, and that's when it's going to start spitting out stuff, essentially. So it needs the system is going to need to overflow before it actually starts producing, which I don't mind running, you know, a bunch of bamboo in there. It actually wouldn't take too long. So maybe that's what it will take. Just overflow the system. Or we could try to come up with better redstone. Oh, it worked. Go, go, go. It's just not doing nearly as much as it should. It's so cool seeing this, though. Fuel input's automatically going in. Crafter is indeed working. Let's take a look at this. And by the way, this smoker's helping out a lot here. So it goes one more. Right? And then bloop. Goes into here. We did it, guys. We did it. We mustered up all 2 brain cells we had to complete this thing. Now it's probably the ugliest thing in this world by far. You know, we went from totally beautifying the area up here to just making the most ugly thing. But we'll turn it into something nice. We will. But wow. Goodness gracious. We've been working at this for hours now. And whenever we need fuel, we can come down here. It's not perfect right now. We're still working through some bugs. But once we work through the bugs here to fix this, which I will make a concerted effort off camera to do, it'll be fully functional and working. And I can't wait. But yeah, we spent an entire episode doing some redstone here, and we're gonna let our brain rest just a bit. We're gonna head on over to the enchanted forest and clean out our inventory, just because this is gonna help me a lot mentally to get that out. So we're gonna head to the enchanted forest here and respond to one of your incredible questions to end the episode. Okay, today's comment is coming from JPAR8109, and they said, "Yay! I finally found someone who takes their time and doesn't get diamonds in the first 10 minutes of playing. Also, a farmer and fishing fan like me. Thank you for being awesome." And the "thank you for being awesome" was in all caps. That made my day. This was a comment from the first episode here, and I think it was refreshing for people to see that we were taking our time here. And clearly lots of you thought the same as well. This is what you could do. You know, we've been playing on this world since March. Technically, this released in April, but March of 2024 is when we created this. And throughout this entire time, we've been, you know, taking our time, right? Have not gotten an elytra, have not gotten shulker boxes, so on and so forth. I mean, we're getting there, but we're just now getting our feet wet with redstone and making the place look completely ugly. We'll get that fixed, I promise. But, you know, it's just a beautiful thing to see how this world can come along so beautifully without having a rush, right? With taking our time and with taking a breath and still not burning ourselves out, right? That's an issue that I've had with many other worlds before, and I think it's because we never really, you know, took our time. So this has been awesome, and yeah. Speaking of getting burnt out, my brain is burnt. I'm not burnt out, but it's fried to a crisp. I can't believe I mustered up the brain power to create a working redstone component, and it was from original, you know, mainly our own redstone expertise, but we did need some help with the new crafter block, right? But this is something that we learn, and this is how we learn with redstone, right? You learn from other people. Or you can experiment with it and just go absolutely insane. But learning little tidbits like this, like how to craft an entire block of something, or you know, how to create an item unloader, or an item elevator. All these little things are stuff that you'll learn over time, and yeah, you'll eventually be able to make a dried kelp factory at a micro level here, and maybe a prettier one at that. But you know, it is what it is. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like rating below. It really does help out the channel. And if you hated it, leave a dislike and tell me why. This has been Paul 100, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care for now.